right, let's hit the field.
All right.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
It is Sunday, July 14th, and it was the final game of the first half and the final game of a 3-game set. If the Yankees could beat the Orioles, they would be back in first place at the All-Star break. My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is NYY Recaps.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium,
New York City.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back in.
Oh, man. That one stings. I'm not going to lie. That might be the worst loss of the season. You know, I've never been one to cover my eyes. When I was a little kid, I would watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I would watch all the Freddy movies, the Jason movies, all that stuff. And I would never look away. I can watch the Saw movies, no problem. But I'm 41 years old, and I have to cover my eyes when Clay Holmes is in the game. Unbelievable how bad this guy is and how this team insists that he is a closer. He just blew the series. Well, he didn't blow the series. He blew the sweep. He blew first place. And I think that is definitely the worst loss of the season so far. I mean, look, Cardiac Clay probably stopped a few hearts today. You're lucky this podcast is even happening because according to my Apple Watch, my heart was literally on the verge of exploding there in the 9th inning. I got the alert, your heart rate has risen to dangerous levels with no activity detected or whatever. Clay Holmes almost fucking killed me today. Is 290 beats per minute bad? Unbelievable. Humongous, enormous 3-run home run from Ben Rice in the 9th inning off of longtime Yankee foe Craig Kimbrell to take the Yankees from being down 1 to put them 2 runs in front. But the Yankees could not hold it because they don't have a closer. About 30 seconds before the home run, I was feeling pretty good because I tweeted, Ben Rice, 3-run home run, calling it. And then once again, me and Ben Rice have a fun little moment on Twitter because he hits the home run, and I'm on top of the world, baby. I pulled the fun hat out, the victory hat, dusted it off a little bit, changed all my belt stuff, and I was ready. I was ready to celebrate a sweep headed into the All-Star break. But Clay Holmes frickin' killed us again. You know, I was bummed before this game even started because, you know, Yorbit Vivas was not part of the lineup. I've always thought that it was unfair to call these prospects up and then have them sit the bench. That's something you used to never see. But now the Yankees do it all the time. I don't think it's good for their development. I don't think it's good for their confidence. You know, what if he gets sent down, gets injured? You know? Tough. Another tight, low-scoring game, one of the best games of the year, especially if you're an Orioles fan. Trent Grisham had a good day, 3 hits. Verdugo did not have a good day. Kept ending innings, rolling over ground balls to second base, and then he falls down on what was a very catchable fly ball in the 9th inning. Why is he playing so shallow? Unbelievable. Volpe did not have a good day. Obviously, an error to extend the game and allow a run to score in the 9th. He did have 1 hit, but again, helmet kept falling off.
Volpe's helmet fell off 3 or 4 times today.
What that guy said. But the story for me today is obviously Clay Holmes. We cannot continue to rely on this guy. William Flores says, Boone being cute, Holmes is not the closer. No reason for Holmes to be in the 9th when he'll get reps at the All-Star game. I mean, they're trying to close it out. I mean, you go to your closer there. You're trying to win the series. You just should have a closer who can get somebody out. That's the problem. Let's talk about Carlos Rodon because he was not great today either. Carlos Rodon needed 7 innings of shutout baseball, as bad as anybody has ever needed them. He did not get it. Instead, he threw 98 pitches in 4 innings. That's a lot. He was trying to pitch backwards, and what I mean by this is he was throwing a lot of breaking balls early in the count, sliders, change-ups, all that stuff. But he doesn't have a good enough command of those pitches to get ahead in the count with them with strikes. So he had a lot of deep counts. He had 3 walks in 4 innings. He had 7 strikeouts, but just not a good day. Let's take a look at Carlos Rodon's numbers. Things got off to a decent start. He struck out Gunnar Henderson on a wicked slider to lead off the game. Made it through the first inning without allowing 8 runs, so that was a positive. Pitched out of a jam with a little bit of help from Volpe in the second inning. Volpe made a nice play there. Third inning, he walked a 9-hole hitter and then served up a 2-run jack to Gunnar Henderson. Hanging slider that time.
Carlos Rondon is so ass.
Fourth inning, he put 2 runners on and then threw a ton of pitches and ultimately struck out Gunnar Henderson to end the inning. He was done after 4 innings. You see the overall numbers on the season. He's made 20 starts. He's also given up 20 home runs. 4.63 ERA, more than a strikeout per inning, and a 1.28 whip. I stand by my position that Carlos Rodon should be traded if the Yankees can somehow find a taker, even if you have to eat a little bit of that money. Overall, he made some pitches, but 4 innings and 2 runs on 98 pitches is not a good outing in my book. Aaron Judge finished off a historic first half. He went 0 for 2 with a couple of walks, but still hitting .306 on the season. He has got 34 home runs. He's got 85 RBIs. We may never see another Yankee put up a first half like this. So take it in, enjoy it. 1.112. Would have been nice if he had a big swing today. 35 home runs looks a lot better than 34 going into the break for whatever reason. But I hope that he gets back in the field after the break because I don't think he plays as well when he's the DH. It's taken him some time now to adjust to being the DH. We're going to have Giancarlo back, so I'd imagine we're going to see Judge back out there in center a little bit more. And just as Grisham is starting to heat up, he's almost up to 200. He's hitting 195 now. He went 3 for 3 with a couple of ribbies today. And then the second half will begin on Friday night. Next Yankees game will be against the Rays. 4-game wraparound set, and then they have the Mets next Tuesday and Wednesday. After that, the Yankees hit the road against 2 pretty good AL East teams, or 2 pretty good East Coast teams, the Red Sox and the Phillies. Phillies in the NL. Trade deadline, just a couple of weeks away. And the Yankees and Phillies will play that day at 12:30. So the game will probably end about an hour before the trade deadline. I'll also be working foul territory that day, so I might not do a recap. I might just do the post-game or the post-deadline wrap-up at 4 o'clock or whatever. We'll talk about whatever moves are made. I'm still kind of working on the scheduling there, so I'll get back to you on that. We're getting some reinforcements back. Stanton coming back. He's got 18 home runs. We're getting Efros back, possibly Lou Trevino. Nick Birdie could be back soon. John Birdie, no relation. Those guys should be back. Dominguez is doing baseball activities, so maybe another 4 to 6 weeks. But, it doesn't matter unless Cashman goes out and gets the pieces that this team needs at the deadline. Clay Holmes just proved again with his 6th blown save that he is not a closer. And there have been a few games where it's, a foul ball just misses, clearing the bases, or a ball is, a foot from being a home run, where he's just gotten out of trouble, giving up some shots right at people. He could easily have 9 or 10 blown saves in the first half. He is not a closer. We keep saying that. Yankees refuse to address the problem. Hopefully they will address it now. We've got a significant number of people in the chat, so let's get to the recap.
All right,
Pretty wild game.
Let's get it going.
Big Blue says maybe Grisham should stay in the lineup when Stanton is back and Verdugo sits. I mean, maybe. Verdugo has been slumping for a while. Really since that big home run. It's like he hit that big home run in Boston and was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm checking out. Juan Soto attempted to bunt his way on base in the first inning. Bunt wasn't half bad, but Dean Kramer made a great play to throw him out. Judge got hit by a pitch in the first inning. Right on the elbow guard, obviously no harm done, but it got me wondering, is that retaliation? Didn't end up turning into anything. Yankees got on the board first, double from Volpe into the right field gap, and then an RBI single from Grisham. Good for Grisham to start heating up. Maybe he will play himself into more at-bats in the second half. Orioles threatened against Carlos Rodon in the second, but Volpe made an outstanding play behind second base to end the inning.
Stellar defense.
Orioles went back out in front in the third inning on a home run from Henderson. Rodon was done after 4. Final line, 4 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. like I said, not a good day for Carlos Rodon. Bottom 5, Trent Grisham tied it up. Nice piece of hitting.
There it goes. That ball is high. It is
Down and in.
gone.
And he finds the porch out there. 6th home run of the season for him. Tommy Kahnle, also unreliable. He gave up a home run to Anthony Santander to put the Orioles back out in front. He has not been good. He has been very unreliable. His ERA is 2.95, which would be good if he was, a starting pitcher. But as a reliever, you need a little bit better than that. He's had some stretches where he was really good. He opened up the season on a really good stretch, but he has not been good lately. Tonkin pitched pretty good. Luke Weaver pitched pretty good. Cousins pitched pretty well. Yankees put runners on the corners in the 6th, but Oswaldo Cabrera struck out to end the inning. I've seen a number of people say that he should be an everyday player. They should give him the second base or the third base job. I don't know if he does enough offensively to get it done. He's had over 200 at-bats now, and his OPS is 629. That is not great. That is not great. I think he's good enough defensively. I mean, he doesn't worry me too much at second base. At third base, he's not quite as good, but I just don't think he's got the offensive ability yet to be an everyday player. More of a replacement player type of guy right now. Useful guy on the roster, but not ready to give him the job. Top 9, Grisham stole second base standing up, but the catcher apparently made contact with the umpire, so it got ruled umpire interference. Oswaldo did walk to put the runner back in scoring position and bring Ben Rice up as the tying run.
There it goes. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone.
One of the biggest swings of the season. It's an outside fastball, 95 miles an hour, and he takes it over the right center field wall. And at that point, you're thinking, that is the biggest swing of the year. It's going to put the Yankees in first place as we head into the break. And unfortunately, Clay Holmes would not allow it to happen. He came in for the 9th. He loaded the bases with 2 outs. Volpe got a ground ball to shortstop and booted it.
Stellar defense.
And that allowed a run to score. And then there was what looked like a catchable fly ball to left field. Maybe we can take a look at it here. That I really think that, I really think he could have caught this. I'm going to pull up the highlight real quick. Hang on just a second. Let me mute it so we don't get any copyright stuff. So let's go to the pitch. So Clay sets. We're going to stop here. We're just going to try and fix the copyright stuff. Sinker down and away. You see it's 98 miles an hour down and away at the corner, but that's the problem. It's not swing and miss stuff. It's contact stuff. It's tough to make contact on that, but guys can hit 98 these days. And then routine fly. Verdugo falls a couple of times and does not make the play. And the Orioles walk it off. Just a brutal, brutal ending to that game.
Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Doug Rouse says, I bet if Rizzo were still healthy and slumping, Rice would be in AAA. Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the absolute truth? Mike Stewart says that Boone is defending Clay again. Are you kidding me? It's days like today that I'm glad that I do a post-game show and can't watch the post-game pressers. I used to watch all the post-game shows on Yes. I still record them and I watch them sometimes, but I don't watch Boone talk anymore. There's no sense in listening to what Boone says because nothing that comes out of his mouth is the truth, right? There's a point, you can defend your players, but when they're consistently bad, you got to acknowledge that. You got to say, hey, look, this guy's not been pitching well. We got to get this. We got to get these outs here. And I'm sure he's defending him because Volpe blew the game on the ground ball to short. And somebody just said this game is on Volpe. Eduardo Aguirre says this game is on Volpe. Sure. Volpe played a hand in it. But ultimately, I think it's on Cashman. I think this game is on Cashman because we didn't get a closer. We've been saying this. Imagine if he had only blown 3 saves instead of 6. Okay? Like a normal closer. Yankees would be 2 games up in the AL East at the All-Star break. And everybody getting a week off, even after that, that tough stretch. Got to get a closer, guys. We have absolutely, positively, 100% got to get a closer. Let's take some reactions.
Yeah, what do you say?
XNDLY puts it bluntly, says, that should be caught, bro. 100%. You got to make that play. A professional outfielder should not fall down on a relatively routine fly ball. Jason Thomas says he misjudged it. Well, that's pretty clear. Came in. Your first step should always be back as an outfielder. They teach you that. First step should be back. That's just fundamental baseball. Scott Butowski says, Tonkin truck for closer. Tonkin has been incredible, but I really like him in that middle relief role. I think he does a really nice job in that middle relief role. Sam Jacobowitz, wow, this is crazy, says that catch had a 99% catch probability.
My quantitative, my math specialist.
Wow, that's brutal. We got a number of super chats here. F. Saminsky says, I am through with this damn team. Sick and tired of the same SHIT game after game. I feel you, bro. I feel you. William Flores says, Yankees baseball operation is the definition of insanity. Repeating the same bleep, waiting for a different result. And, you can't keep throwing that guy out there in the ninth inning and hope for different results because he's just not a closer. Yankee Baseball says best defensive outfielder is Verdugo, Grisham, and Judge in right. He had a lot of defensive runs saved early, but lately he hasn't been as good out there in left field. And yesterday he ran into the wall hard. I was surprised he's even out there today. But, maybe he messed up his head. Maybe that's why he went in instead of first step back. Mr. XS says Holmes isn't a real closer, but Volpe and Verdugo didn't make 2 routine plays at the end of the game, so this is on them. I agree, but I hardly agree. Still, they shouldn't have been in that situation. How many walks did Clay Holmes have in the ninth inning? Let's take a look at the box score while we're at it. Clay Holmes had 2 walks. Your closer's not supposed to walk guys, and he allowed 2 hits. You can't have a closer with a 1.31 whip. That is not good. You want less than a base runner per inning in the ninth inning. Absolutely unacceptable. And yes, Volpe and Verdugo were both ass on defense today. Both ass.
Stellar defense.
So, Yanks got to figure this out before it comes too late. We got a couple of weeks till the trade deadline. Take a few more comments here. Jack Wells says the Volpe error is unacceptable. They said it on the FS1 broadcast. He let the ball play him. He let that extra hop play him. You got to charge that ball. Charge that ball, flip to second, game over. Everybody goes home. And you go home in first place. But Holmes did load the bases. Holmes walked guys. He gave up hits. It's not mutually exclusive to have a shitty closer or a bad play on defense or 2. You can have all sorts of contributing factors. Everyone shares the blame on this one. Holmes for putting guys on, Volpe for not making a routine play, and Verdugo for whatever the hell happened out there. Absolutely terrible.
It's what it is.
What it is. It's what it is. What it is. It's what it is.
Wasky Polino says Verdugo letting his offensive game affect his defensive game. It's quite possible. We've seen that happen. It seems to be happening with Gleyber Torres. Tommy C's Cat says Boone is such a disgrace. Anyone that is able to lie so easily and so much is a bad person in general. Going right after Boone being a bad person, as we do have 1,000 in the chat. And by law, I'm obligated to remind you every time we get over 1,000 watching live to like and subscribe. We are on a mission to get to 50,000 subscribers. We're here after every Yankees game. We're going to be here again Friday night. We do a voicemail show in the mornings. We're going to do a voicemail show tomorrow. We're going to do your thoughts on this game in general. And we might do a little bit of content over the All-Star break, but I'm not going to do any live shows until Friday night. Unless possibly we do like a Friday morning voicemail show. We'll see, like a preview for the second half, or unless there's a trade, which very well could happen. If that's the case, we'll go live. But I'm going to take a little break to kind of work on some behind-the-scenes stuff. My computer needs a lot of maintenance, and we got to make some updates to the show. Let's get some final thoughts from everybody.
It is far. It is gone.
Jaxoholic says Boone lies so much he could be a politician. Heard a funny quote the other day. It said, politicians are like diapers. They should be changed often and for the same reason. Brooke says, if 9 out of 10 times the first runner reaches, then you shouldn't be closing games. 100% agree.
I hardly agree.
And JD would like to remind us all that Holmes is an all-star. Yes, all-star. The all-star Clay Holmes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to call it a day. I'm going to call it a break. Obviously, a very disappointing loss. I urge you to subscribe, help us out on the channel. Check out, for your Yankees merch, NYYRecaps.shop. We got all sorts of cool stuff. Like the video, share with your friends. Follow me on X, NYY Recaps Derek. Also on Instagram, NYY Recaps. And I'll see you next time. Hey everybody, we are on a mission for 50,000 subscribers on this channel by the end of the season. When we get there, we're going to give away some cool prizes. We're going to give away an official Yankees pinstripe jersey of your choice, 4 tickets to a Yankees game, plus some NYY Recaps merch. It takes 1 click and it's free. So if you watch every video, double check that you are subscribed. If you love the podcast, subscribe. Heck, even if you hate the podcast, hate me, hate the Yankees, hate my cat, who cares? Subscribe anyway so somebody can win these prizes. And we'll see you next time.
Ball game over.